Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to your program, your program, your agenda here on Cignal TV's One News Channels 8 and 250. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us today. Maraming salamat po for being subscribers of Cignal TV. And of course, for those of you who go out of your way, make an extra effort to watch Agenda via Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you also for those who watch us via Cignal Play app. And of course, maraming salamat sa PLDT Home Fiber Optic Internet, especially to Sir Marco Borlongan for assisting Agenda through the years, especially when we are out of town. Ayun po, no? So today is December 19. 19 ba ngayon? If I remember correctly, it is December 20. Ano na ba yan? December 20. Okay? So it is a Wednesday, and from the looks of it, the weather is still trying to decide whether it's going to be sunny and bright or cloudy and showering. Okay, so we will see as the day rolls out. Starting today, December 20, we do a countdown. There are two countdowns that we in Agenda are observing. We are observing the Christmas countdown, and as it has become obvious, a few days na laang after the weekend, Pasko na. So the Christmas countdown is running fast. And the second countdown that we will be observing here on Agenda is the countdown for our year end, where the program agenda will also come to an end. Yun po, no? We will no longer be airing starting January 2024. We have been informed that management has decided that the show has been broadcast, has been staged for the last 5.5 years, and that by 29 December 2023, that will be our last episode. So yun. And as a result of that, I have consulted with our executive producer, Gab Malyari, and we've come to the decision that instead of just running down the days and filling the airtime just to comply, we've decided to bring back as many of our former guests who are available, willing, and need to come on the program so that we can make kamustahan, we can catch up very briefly, and for us to express our gratitude. It has not been easy staging this program for the last 5.5 years or more, because we have been up against many challenges. Cignal TV started out as the new kid on the block. We were faced with challenge of sino ba sila? Ano ba yung signal na yan? Ano ba yung agenda na yan? Etc. And then after that, the reality of Carmageddon in Manila, in Metro Manila, began to hit us, where a lot of our guests found it difficult to come to the studio for live guesting. And after that, we, of course, had to compete with the big boys, which wasn't easy. And after that came COVID-19. If you recall, Agenda was the first guinea pig on online broadcasting for the group. And we struggled, We had to jury rig our equipment at home using table lamps, using all sorts of equipment. But through the years, we evolved. I bought my own microphone. I bought my own camera. And the investment turned out to be a good investment because that was in 2020. And it's now the end of 2023. Sulit din naman po. So we've been through a lot of changes, but like all things good must come to an end. So that will be what happens to agenda come December 29, 2023. So in keeping with our posture of gratitude, where we promote being grateful, we will now roll out guests and talk to our guests and express our gratitude to them. So Gab, if you would, let's roll out the Betamax, as I used to say, and let's start catching up, if you don't mind. Okay, sandali lang. At may click ng click dito, hindi ko maintindihan kung ano ang gustong palabasin nitong click ng click na ito. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Kasi wala si Gabriel dun sa aking messenger dito on the screen. Before we do the... okay. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Daily starter. Leave the unpleasant and the spoiler alerts in 2023. Okay. I am thankful that we finally found out that we will no longer be airing in 2024. Just the other day, yesterday, I said yesterday, the other, yes, because it would have been such a bummer if we found out on the first week of January 2024. That's not a good way to start a year. So the daily starter for today, leave the unpleasant and spoiler alerts in 2023. I wrote that. I came up with that. And it is my appeal to all of you out there, whether you're planning to break up with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, whether you're planning to resign, whether you're planning to terminate people, close down the business, etc., whatever, or you have to tell someone that you're moving or you're sick, etc., do it now. It may ruin their Christmas, but at least they will have a whole year of new beginnings and hope, because the worst thing to do is pagkatapos ng Christmas party and pagkatapos ng New Year's reunion, biglang, nga pala, goodbye, I'm leaving you now. Walang ganyanan po. So, leave the unpleasant and spoiler alerts in 2023. Okay, Gabriel, let's get on. Baka maubusan tayo ng oras.
Some local economists share the optimism cast in the International Monetary Fund or IMF's 2024 forecast on the Philippine economy. IMF reported that the acceleration in public investments and improved demand for the country's exports could lead to a 6% growth in gross domestic product next year. Analyzing the country's economic performance has been at the core of the agenda, with the help of credible economists like Professor Ronilo Balbieran. Balbieran has been sharing his insights about economic behavior with the program since the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think our family-based culture dito sa Pilipinas, sir, is the one dictating whether if we will recover faster or not. So what I'm saying is that, sige, anong point na pupunta ka sa isang magandang tourist destination if you're not with your children? So you want to be with your children.
He also broke down complicated topics like inflation and commercialization, displaying his pedigree of teaching economics at the University of Asia and the Pacific.
Ang kailangan mong gawin, dalahin yung e-commerce, yung bilis at volume ng e-commerce, no? Papuntahin mo doon sa agriculture. Kaya naman kasi nagbebenta yung mga farmers ng lupa nila. Magtatanim kami, hindi naman alam kung talagang may bibili.
Walang bumibili. Okay.
So kailangan mong dalahin yung power.
On today's agenda, we speak once again with Balbieran, who is also serving as an economic consultant to the Philippine government.
Good morning, my friend. Welcome back to Agenda.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. And as you've already been informed, this is our pamamaalam, and we wanted to do it in the style of expressing gratitude because, Ron, you were one of the first who came out there, supported us, gave us your time, bothered to really give us explanations that were hard to on concepts that were hard to understand. And malaking bagay sa amin yon. And I believe that this is a good way of saying thank you for helping us get to where we are now. And I just wanted to find out, so what about you? How has life been treating you? What are your plans?
Ganun pa rin, Sir Cito, no? Walang hanggang pagpapaliwanag ng nangyayari sa ekonomiya at ano ang mangyayari. May mga tama, may mga mali, pero ano lang naman, Diyos lang nakakaalam kung ano mangyayari bukas. Pero we continue analyzing what's happening to our economy, how our government can help, and how we can do things together, no, public and private sector.
Okay, now, in your estimation, what is the stature of economists right now? It seems that politically, economists are holding certain strands of power in government. They're able to influence policies, but kanina may binanggit ka regarding farmers. Farmers seem to hate government economists nowadays. They call them anti-farmer.
Hindi naman, depende lang siguro kung sinong ekonomista. Kasi depende kung anong teorya ang ginagamit mo, saan ka nang gagaling. No? So ako, mas nagsusubscribe ako na papunta na tayo sa network economics. No? So ang ibig sabihin nito, using the power of technology, using the power of free trade. But at the same time, ang problema kasi pagka nasosobrahan ka ng focus sa free trade, nakakalimutan mo na kailangan mo ng social safety nets para sa mga farmers. No? So you don't just open up your country. Parang bahay mo, binuksan mo na lang, mamaya mo magnanakaw na yung pinapapasok mo, no? So kailangan habang binubuksan mo yung bahay mo para sa ibang tao, kailangan may seguridad yun, malinis yung bahay mo. So investor ba yung pinapapasok mo? So therefore magpapa-impress ka. So mga ganon, no? So kailangan ng ating mga farmers free trade, pero at the same time protection, no, para hindi naman sila malapastangan ng competition globally, no. So ganun po yung aking
Let's bring home the conversation closer to the topic of media, kasi pinapag-isipan ko lang, nakakatulong ba ang media? By and large, do media practitioners understand the economic concepts, the impact and consequence of their reporting and their conversations to the general population? Kasi parang you are one of those, the reason I really chased after you is because of your reputation that you're able to simplify. You were able to simplify concepts na hindi naintindihan ng maraming masa. And na-connect mo ngayon na biyahe ka, hindi mo kasama anak mo. What's fun in that? You were able to connect it with hearts and minds of people. But for the media, kaming nasa media, I will essentially be focusing on my column from beginning January 2024. And you cannot help but wonder, nakatulong ba kami? You came on agenda We tried to give you as much time whenever necessary or possible. Did it help? Or is it just still for rich people, middle upper class na may subscription laang?
I would bravely say na malaki po ang naitutulong ng media, especially po itong programa nyo, no, na hindi naman talaga pang yung mga pang-elitista na talagang Inglesan tayo na Inglesan na using very complicated economic terms, no. So, and I've seen, I've discussed with government officials, mga top leaders, no, na sinasite nila yung mga discussions natin, even kahit wala ako, yung mga pinag-uusapan nyo about agriculture, about corruption, about governance, no. So alam niyo naman na nakatutok lagi, no, especially ang ating best friend na newly promoted Undersecretary Mary Jean Pacheco, no. So lagi niyang binabanggit ang pangalan mo, and sa DICT, sa DPWH. So pag naririnig po nila na pinag-uusapan po yung mga programa nila, it increases their confidence, no. Tama pala, no, may impact pala yung ginagawa natin, no, na pag-uusapan po. Kasi alam mo po natin sa Pilipinas, no, pag hindi pinag-usapan sa TV, hindi totoo. So, pero pagka ang mga pinag-uusapan niyo po, yung nakalinyang mga topics dito sa agenda, ay yun yung mga talagang nagpapasakit ng ulo ng ating mga government leaders. And nakakatulong po na naririnig po nila yan na pinag-uusapan. Hindi lang po problema, maganda po dito sa programa natin, hindi lang po problema yung pinag-uusapan natin. Talagang nagtatalas-taasan tayo in relation to ano ba talaga yung solution. No? Maraming bla-bla, pero okay, merong analysis, pero ano yung solution? Kasi magiging paralysis lang. So, nakita ko po yan, pinag-uusapan po yan sa doon po sa loob ng kwarto ng ating mga government leaders as far as this very hard topics, and wala namang talagang clear-cut solution for everything, no. So it's just a continuous discussion. As sabi nga, 'di ba, civilization is constituted by reasoned conversation, no. So as long as may media, may civil society na pinag-uusapan ng mga topics na 'yon, it helps the government increase their confidence in pursuing their reforms. At the same time, no, it keeps them on their toes na tinitingnan tayo ng Pilipinas, tinitingnan tayo ng masa, ng mga mamamayan. So pagpatuloy po natin yung pagpapaunlad sa Pilipinas.
Okay, having said that, nasabi mo na rin naman yan, what should those following us, or ikaw, you belong to one generation younger, or maybe 1.5 generation younger than mine, what should those following us in media work harder on or introduce into their conversation? Kasi may mga papalit na sa atin, baka alam mo, the worst thing that you can do is you just copy the ones before you or recycle the agendas of others. What can the newcomers do to become more relevant and helpful dun sa mga decision makers na binabanggit mo at saka doon sa mga manonood?
Opo. So ang aking advice po, dahil bias po ako, no, mag-aral po tayo ng economics, no. So the book, no, yung pinakasikat ngayon, yung Why Nations Fail, napakakapal po na libro, no, pero dalawa lang po ang sinabi niya, no. So kaya po lumalagapak ang mga bansa. Okay, corruption, pero minor reason ang corruption. Pero ang pinakamalaking corruption actually yung bad or stupid economic policies, no? So and pangalawa ay weak government institutions or weak institutions, no. So ibig sabihin, sinasabi niya marami namang corruption, buong mundo may corruption, bawat tao pinanganak tayo may kasalanan, no. So talagang makasalanan ang mundo, may corruption, pero hindi yun ang dahilan bakit nagiging first world country ang isang bansa. Korea, ang dami, 4 na presidente na yata nakulong diyan. So may corruption pero first world country. So anong kinaiba nila sa Pilipinas? Ang kinaiba is magaganda yung kanilang mga penalties and reward system sa gobyerno, sa businesses, at meron silang magandang economic policy, no, na very advanced, forward-looking, hindi yung masyadong inward-looking, protectionist, etc. No? So, economic policy. So, kung may pag-uusapan tayo, starting 2024, No, medyo i-minimize natin ang usapan ng corruption kasi walang hanggan yan. Kasing tanda ni Adan at Eva yung usapin ng corruption. But more importantly, ang pag-usapan natin is how do we really learn economics and apply it to molding better economic policies and strengthening our institutions. Para kung meron kang ganon, malalaman mo talaga yung mga corrupt at paano mo maikulong yung mga corrupt kasi nagkukut-kut yun sa progreso ng ekonomiya ng bansa. So,
Okay. Yeah.
economic education po ang pinaka-importante.
Quick question. Bad economic policy is the fault of bad economists?
Pwede nating sabihin, pero ang mga ekonomista po ay laging...
Walang sisihan, ha? Walang sisihan. It just,
Okay.
that would be the usual reaction of a viewer. Sabi ni Ron, bad economic policy. Hindi ba yung mga economic managers ang gumagawa ng policy na yun? So we have bad economic managers.
Hindi po kasi ang mga ekonomista usually nandoon lamang sa likod ng tabing taga-advise, no? So pero ang magpipirma ng policy, ang magpa-finalize ng policy at mag-uutos ng policy ay yung ating mga leaders, no? So kaya importante po na naiintindihan nila kung ano yung ina-advise ng mga ekonomista kasi pagka-advise po namin, may mga politician din po sa paligid nila. So at minsan nasasapawan kasi naku, pagka in-implement natin yung policy na yan, baka maraming mawalan ng trabaho. Pero hindi iniisip yung pangkabuuan. Sige, may mawalan ka ng mga 1,000 na trabaho, pero magkikreate ng 100,000 na trabaho. No? So,
Okay.
dahil nakinig dun sa 1,000 na nagwewelga dun sa labas, parang naging inward looking tingin, ay naku, may pangit to sa reputasyon natin. So nakinig ka doon sa populist policy. So
Yun.
pinagsama mo yung economic advice at yung populist policy, bad economic policy yung napirmahan. So kaya
Kompromiso de arreglo.
Opo, marami pong
Okay. Okay, one last papahabol na lang, ha. Total last question ko na ito sa iyo on
No
agenda. I have been hearing a lot about business executives or kamag-anaks coming into government as part of the circle of power, particularly in finance and economics. In fact, there is a incoming super secretary who is part of a business family who will be on top of the Secretary of Finance in terms of position and the NEDA Secretary. Yung mga ganyang bang business and government in bed in that sense, is that bad economic policy?
Hindi naman po. So depende. Again, ano ba yung pipirmahan nilang batas o polisiya o regulasyon? No, kailangan malinaw po sa kanilang konsensya na walang conflict of interest yung policy. Tsaka yun. Kasi on one hand, baka may appearance of conflict of interest, pero on the other hand, kasi ano yan, mga position of trust. No, kaya siguro inappoint yan ng ating presidente ay dahil sila kasi yung expert sa pagpapalago ng ekonomiya, pag-generate ng business. Kasi kung gobyerno yan, mamimigay lang na mamimigay ng pera, walang hanggang pamimigay ng pera. But ang importante ay mag-create ng businesses. So, what we hope na itong mga inappoint ng ating presidente dahil pinagkatiwalaan sila na magagaling silang maggawa ng mga negosyo, yun po ang gawin nila, no? Kinig po sila sa mga ekonomistang nag-a-advise sa kanila at yun po ang i-implement natin polisiya.
Thank you very much, Prof. Ron. Thank you
sir.
for all the times you made yourself available and for supporting the program agenda over 5.5 years. God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas. And paminsan-minsan in 2024, pakainin mo ko, ha? Okay, thank you.
Merry Christmas din po, Idol Cito.
Okay, we'll go for a quick break, and when we return, we go to our next guest.
With the various issues hounding the country's education sector, the Philippine Business for Education has been at the forefront of pushing for reforms. Agenda has called on PBED several times to help shed light on these issues. One of Agenda's regulars has been Justine Raagas, who serves as PBED Executive Director. Raagas has 9 years of experience in education reform and policy advocacy centered on youth employability. In her interviews on Agenda, she has discussed several issues that the country's education sector has been facing, from learning poverty in the Philippines.
There's been talk about, reviewing the K-12 system, but first, I think what we need to do is we need to think about the review from the lens of improving it and making sure that outcomes are improved.
To providing support to teachers.
We need to change that system, and we need to give teachers more time, more support, so that they can, upgrade, reskill, continue with professional development, so that they can have, better content knowledge and then better capacities in the classroom.
And other topics in between. Through PBED, Agenda has been able to cover a wide array of issues and topics concerning education.
Okay, Justine, Raagas, welcome back to Agenda.
Good morning, Cito. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us on what would be our final interview with you, and for a very short one at that. But given this opportunity, what is the most important thing on your mind right now?
Well, while papunta na tayo sa holiday break, but education reform never really takes breaks, right? So still, for us, it's still really pushing for better education in the Philippines, making sure that policies are put in place, and then programs also that the DepEd or other agencies of education continue to run, so that we can really recover from this whole learning crisis.
Okay, but when the latest PISA results came out, I have to confess, I just essentially raised my hands because it became a blame game. And I said, after all the efforts that we all tried to put in, like Agenda, every time something serious education-related issue comes up, we reach out to you and your associates in the sector, and we try to give everyone a platform to speak on the matter. But, you do that for 5.5 years, and you kind of look back and wonder, did we make a difference? Is anyone in government really listening? And 5.5 years, the only person I keep hearing is Justine Raagas talking about it, but there are no public figures or business leaders coming out into the open and saying, hey, count me in. So,
well, I guess your question is multifaceted, no? So maybe I'll take that one at a time. Well, I guess in terms of the PISA, many of us actually were not surprised with the results, considering that one, education reform really takes a lot of time, and second, the pandemic happened and that really set us back a bit. But we do think is that it's still important to continue measuring and continue talking about these issues, because the measurement, for example, in the PISA, it was important kasi to see the factors. So it's not that we're assessing to point fingers, considering that the education reform issue has been a result of decades of neglect in the system. So what's important, I guess, at least for the PISA results, is really to pinpoint like which areas are we really poor at. And interestingly, this new PISA kasi also looks at other factors outside of the classroom. So dun sa results, nakikita din na kung may support ng parents, or kung mas involved yung teachers, these play a role in the learning outcomes of the students. But to your second point on education getting the attention that
or having champions aside from Justine, because I mean champions. you're doing a great job, Justine, but we are in a country where if there's no big shot stepping up
Mm.
into the ring, they just like, parang they treat you as a front act more than the serious champion.
Actually, you do make a good point about that, Cito, no? Because for the longest time, PBED has been in existence since 2006. So it's it's close to 2 decades of really pushing for and making a lot of noise about education. And it was only this year, I think, at least during the pandemic, where we saw a bit more interest and public focus on education. And I think it was really the pandemic that brought to life, shed light on the whole learning crisis. But one, we do thank you and we thank Agenda for giving education the attention it deserves, for constantly or regularly asking us to talk about these issues. In terms kasi of education, it's not really a sexy topic. People talk about inflation a lot, prices of goods, unemployment, even disasters, right? These are the things that get covered a lot because it affects Filipinos' day-to-day lives. Pero sa education kasi, when you talk about low scores, tatanong yung mga tao, ano ngayon? Parang hindi naman sila nagugutom, nakakakain naman sila, or ano ngayon kung mababa yung PISA scores natin? Nasa loob naman sila ng classroom, they're still getting education. But we do think and we need to see beyond that, and that is what PBED has been pushing for the longest time. We need to see education as both an economic and as a political issue, because now, because it is really one of the most important things we can do, investing on our most important resource, which is our human capital or our people. So just like how we're building, ito yung sinasabi namin sa PBED, di ba, na we keep building roads and bridges, but we're not investing on our most important resource, which is human capital. We hope though that more and more, one thing I guess is that with media, we hope that there is more coverage, and sana naman hindi lang coverage kasi mababa yung scores natin. Sana it really gets talked about, because it also allows people to become more informed and become more aware and hopefully alarmed by our state of education. Kasi education kasi is a political issue, like I shared earlier. So we also need to choose leaders, for example, who make the right decisions on education, who make the right calls.
Okay, having said that, Justin, are you concerned about the fact that the Secretary of Education, Vice President Sara Duterte, has become the political target? And at the same time, it is now more apparent than ever that leftist groups are now, very much active in the field of education. Kumbaga, the politics of the leftists, the anti-Sara group, the Duterte group, they're rumbling in the court of education, and I'm like, there are days I go like, can you jokers just go to a rugby field or a football field, in the middle of nowhere, and go beat up on each other and leave the children alone? Are you in the sector concerned about this?
So there are a lot of opposing sides and a lot of voices in education. And while first we do think that the attention it's getting is good, because at least it's being talked about. It becomes a national issue. Second, having the vice president as secretary also creates, she has political will to do the necessary things, right? But the important is, and we do hope that she's doing this, is really just as Professor Ronilo mentioned earlier about economics. Like, she also listens to the experts and the education experts, and that involves weaving through all these voices, right? Because there are voices or recommendations or mga mag-iingay, but only for politics' sake. And then what's important, I guess, at least for her, is to make sure that she is able to pick out sino dito sa mga voices na to ang experts, and really really looking at the overall outcome. Otherwise, it can just really be disruptive and takes us out of the focus of the real issue.
Okay, in terms of the PBED, what's the main target or goal for 2024? And sorry to say we won't be there with you. So maybe take advantage of the last minute to at least announce that.
So, well, there is an overall review of the education system that's happening right now. So the EDCOM 2, we talked about it, I think, in previous interviews.
Mhm.
We in 2024 we do hope that the review of the education system results into policy recommendations and that they get pushed, and that they start, kasi we are also looking at the upcoming elections, and ang worry natin dito ay matatabunan na naman ang education issues with the elections, right? So hopefully, even before that, the EDCOM and the legislators already start pushing for many recommendations, such as, for example, improving the professionalization of teachers and improving the quality of teachers. A couple of other things for 2024 that we hope will be looked at is, first, for DepEd to continue what it's doing in learning recovery, but making sure that there are facets of this na added to. One, focusing on nutrition. So it's hard kasi to focus on learning recovery and books and getting children to read if they're not fed and if they come to school hungry. So we
Well, yeah.
really expand that. And second, maximizing and working with local governments, particularly on education delivery. Malaki yung pwedeng role ng government in making sure that resources and materials really go on ground, and that they arrive and they reach constituents really fast. So napaka-importante din with government. And lastly, private sector, really working with private sector to maximize partnerships, resources of private sector, existing classrooms that don't get filled because the public schools are overpopulated. So these things we hope can be factors that add into the education work in 2024.
Okay, well, Justine, I sincerely pray that you will find open doors, open windows on other platforms that will give you the necessary time and opportunity to promote Philippine education and the works of the Philippine business in education. Thank you for PBED, and thank you to you for being there, for trusting us when we opened the doors and gave you the platform, the stage to promote your agenda. And we wish you the best. Merry Christmas to you. God bless you, Justine.
Thank you so much, Cito, and thank you for being that window and that door as well.
Okay, and there you go. That's Justine Raagas, Executive Director, Philippine Business for Education. We go once again for a break, and we will return to our next guest.
Have you been enjoying the food at the Christmas parties you recently attended? Dining to our heart's delight has been part of the Filipino Christmas season tradition. But before you scoop another rice at the buffet, the health department reminds the public to maintain a balanced and healthy diet. But how do we have an enjoyable meal plan, especially during the holiday season? The Baron Group CEO Harvie Baron has been sharing health and wellness tips with Agenda for years. The Baron, who got his diploma in sports nutrition from Oxford College, highlights the importance of having a healthy mindset in consuming food and improving our body.
So strict with the eating, so healthy, but then it hasn't become sustainable. Can you imagine a person who's been eating a certain type, like puro carne, good balance of vegetables and all their lives, and then all of a sudden you tell them, bawal ka na lahat nun, kailangan puro gulay lang. This is not a good way to live anymore.
Focus on your health rather than just losing weight. Why? If you focus on your health, your goals will last longer. Because if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, you lose 10 pounds, you're off the wagon.
Harvie is the founder of the Baron Method, which aims to help people customize their meal plan that best suits their body's long-term needs.
Christmas season is usually a time to unwind and relax, but there are some who use this season to gear up how to start their new year right. And health professionals like Dr. Dex Macalintal, a physician and registered nutritionist dietitian, are always ready to help Filipinos achieve their health goals. Macalintal specializes in lifestyle medicine, clinical nutrition, primary care, and obesity. In his appearances on Agenda, Doc Dex has handed out plenty of useful tips. This includes possible rice alternatives.
Sa dami rin ng tumataas ng mga bigas-bigas, maaari din naman po natin gawa ng pamamaraan yan. Hindi lang po bigas ang pagmumula ng carbohydrates natin. Pwede nating samahan din, say for example, ng mga corn. Yung mga corn grits, pwede po yun.
And workouts for those tired of the usual scenes at the gym.
You don't need to go to the gym. Ang kailangan mo lamang ay espasyo sa inyong opisinang maliit o sa iyong kwarto. Pwede po kayong mag-start ng exercise dyan. Pwede kayong mag-jumping jacks, pwede kayong mag-high knees, pwede kayong mag-push-ups, curl-ups.
Doc Dex has even taken up the fight against disinformation and misinformation online, solidifying his stature as a true guide and helper for Filipinos.
One suggestion is to clean social media of misinformation. Yung kinakailangan magkaroon tayo ng trust that this misinformation on social media wherein ang daming mga tao ang naririto, we also have to be there.
Okay, gentlemen, welcome back to the program for your last interview. Parang job application, ano?
Thank you, Sir Cito. Hi, Sir Harvie.
Hello, hi Doc.
Well, anyway, I've said it before, but I'm saying it again. This concept that we are doing for the remaining 6 days of Agenda is in line with our promotion of gratitude, Dex, Harvie, where we want people to be able to appreciate what they have and be grateful for the people who have worked with them along the way and who have supported their endeavors through the years. And both of you are standouts in that area, so much so that the frequency of your appearance on Agenda has established the concept of dietary education, awareness, and this lifestyle medicine concept, which many people only heard of recently, Doc Dex. So I would like to say thank you very much for the time and knowledge that both of you have shared. And we do hope that somehow your appearances on Agenda have also helped your endeavors, your commitments, and your businesses. Nakatulong ba kami, Harvie?
Oh, syempre. Kuya Cito, malaking tulong talaga. I'm sure Doc Dex will feel the same as well.
Yes, of course. Sa akin, malaki ding tulong talaga. Bukod sa appearances natin sa Agenda, we also have appearances under other shows on TV5. Pero yun nga, malaking bahagi kasi ng ng misinformation din ng social media. So kinakailangan na doon tayo para linisin ito. At isang malaking platform ang agenda, Sir Cito, na malinis talaga natin yung mga maling impormasyon online na kinakailangan sobrang restrictive doon diet. And when it comes to diet, kinakailangan ito lang yung kainin mo. No, we have to strike that balance, moderation, and variety sa ating pagkain kasi kinakailangan natin ng tamang nutrients in every day na kinakailangan natin gumawa ng mga trabaho natin.
Okay, Harvie, the Baron, 5.5 years later, can you say that people's attitudes and lifestyle have somehow positively changed?
I would like to think that people are now more aware. I mean, the pandemic has actually certainly on that side and thinking has helped. Na people have to take care of their health. Also now, we've definitely noticed because of whatever is out on the internet, the social media side. We really noticed na marami mga tao more concerned about their health rather than just depending on maintenance medicines or different types of medicines para gumaling sila.
Okay, what about you, Dex? Mas naiintindihan na ba ngayon ng tao ang lifestyle medicine? Do you see more people consulting with you?
Yes, more and more people are consulting with us regarding their lifestyle at may mga nakikita na nga tayo na bukod sa mga gustong matulungan na mabawasan yung mga medications nila dahil sa lifestyle nila kasi nga sabi nga natin kasama sa panggagamot yung tamang uri ng lifestyle. And then meron na rin tayong mga nakikita, sir, na wala pang mga sakit pero pupunta na sa atin para matulungan yung lifestyle nila.
Okay, what about yung concern? Because we've made agenda available to both of you as a platform, but not just to you as persons and practitioners, but for the concepts that you are promoting, which is a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, preventive medicine, etc. How should other media programs or outlets handle this concepts? Because parang ang nangyayari seasonal yata we avoided being seasonal, Harvie, you know that.
Yes, sir.
And we avoided being anniversary in nature. Kumbaga, it's cancer month, let's call Harvie. No, it's diabetes month, let's call Harvie. What should be the attitude of other media outlets as far as dietary sense and lifestyle should be?
In my opinion, I think the overall landscape has improved greatly already. I think we just need to continue putting in efforts in terms of not just saying, tama kayo, Kuya Cito, na cancer month, or let's invite somebody to talk just for that period, and then wala na. So there has to be really continuous continuous information giving. That's why I think the channels na Dex is on YouTube, and then my IG and everything that where we keep giving good information to people. Just not necessarily kasi there's only so much on the internet that you can really get out of yourself. I mean, when we give advice on the internet, we don't really know the person watching. We don't really know whether they're 45, battling diabetes, or what other comorbidities they have. So when we give advice, it's really to spark the idea that, hey, there's another solution, there's another outlet out there for you to tap into. It's not maintenance medicine, taking this, taking that, and yun na yun. Hindi yun eh. I think at the end of the day, the nice thing that is available now is that it's widely available out there. I mean, and people in general, I think, Kuya Cito, they're so much smarter than they were maybe 20 years ago. I think in the sense that they're able to do their own research online. I think what your platform has done has made us definitely available to a certain extent for pseudo celebrities to a certain extent, because you've given us the opportunity to really talk out there. We'd love to have more opportunities to talk more, and even longer. However, there are certain things going around, and ang dami kasi nangyayari din, diba? So whatever we get, we value very much, for sure.
Okay, Doc Dex, what about you? You're already established a personality on the internet, and what led you to get into that?
Well, yun nga sir, misinformation na hindi ko na matake na ang daming mali talaga na nababasa sa social media, ang daming napapanood sa social media. And when we got when we got here sa station natin, nakakatulong talaga yung information that we give out sa mga tao. And kinakailangan talaga tuloy-tuloy ito. Kaya nga sabi nga natin, if there would be sa media, ako meron talagang pangangailangan ng medical information, not just dietary information, but also medical nutrition is information dissemination. We're always there na to be tapped. At kung kinakailangan at ang efforts, ang susunod nito ay magkaroon tayo ng mga medical shows, that would be better para makatulong tayo sa pagbibigay ng tamang impormasyon. Hindi lamang sa pagkain, kung hindi pati na rin po sa tamang medical information. Kasi kinakailangan malaman din natin kung ano nga ba ang nagagawa ng mga sakit sa mga pasyente, at anong epekto nito sa mga kapamilya nila, at anong epekto nito sa mga komunidad nila, para mas maintindihan ng mga pasyente din mismo at ng mga doktor kung ano nga bang pinagdadaanan ng bawat isa sa atin pagdating sa medical at sa nutritional na pagkakamali natin at mga kinakailangan gawin para maitama ang mga pagkakamaling ito.
Here's the problem. Nakikinig ba
Mm.
yung Pilipino o Pilipina? I mean,
Mhm.
do the general public actually listen or take these things seriously, or is the Filipino still bahala ng Diyos, or bahala na, or whatever? Parang
I think they are listening right now kasi sa mga konsulta na nakikita ko at na mga pupunta sa akin, ang laging sinasabi nila sa akin, Doc, napanood kasi kita sa agenda, napanood kasi kita sa TV5, at ito yung sabi mo. Pero sabi ng ibang doktor, sabi ng ibang mga nutritionist, sabi ng ibang mga nagsasalita sa social media, ito daw po, ano po ba talaga yung totoo? So they are listening. So there's that intent to listen and to grasp the knowledge. So we just have to know, or we just have to know paano pa sila mas kikilitiin at paano pa talaga makukuha yung attention nila. Pero nandoon na yung attention paano ngayon magbigay ng tamang impormasyon? Kasi marami yung mga misinformation around. Meron mga nagsasabi, doktor daw to, pero hindi naman pala talaga doktor. Nutritionist daw to, hindi pala naman talaga nutritionist. Under daw ng pitak, hindi naman daw pala under ng pitak. So maraming ang misinformation, and we have to know the verified ones that are really there. No, kunyari, kung ako katulad ko, sinasabi ko I'm a doctor, I'm also on PRC para malaman po nila. Hindi yung ang daming mga mali na sinasabi, kaya nalilito yung mga tao. So there is the intent of the public to listen, and there is the interest na makinig sa mga impormasyong medikal at
nakikinig sila, pero ginagawa ba nila?
Yes, I think meron ng mga gumagawa talaga nito, at padami ng padami kasi nga pupunta sa klinika at ito sinasabi nila, oy, ginawa namin tong diet na nakita namin online. Oo, pumayat ako, pero sobrang taas naman ng cholesterol ko, sobrang taas ng uric acid ko, sobrang taas ng creatinine ko. Ano bang tama? So
parang
yes,
yung
ginagawa nila.
parang yung nagkaibigan ko nag-vegetarian, walang ginawa kundi kumain ng tofu, tapos nag-complain sa akin, bakit daw taas ng uric acid niya? Sabi ko, kumain ka ng maraming isda para magkakaliskis ka. Okay, Harvie, your reaction. People listen, yes, but do they actually do what the dietitian or the trainer or the physician tells them to do?
Yeah, actually, Kuya Cito, in my opinion, I've had people come in, 15 years na kasi kami, and one of the things that I notice is that they will come in, they will really follow you only if there's a certain level of fear. Meaning, pag talagang may sakit na or something that they're battling with, that they remember that they actually have. So, some come in with the intention, gusto ko gawin yan, gusto ko gawin to. But the true followers have that certain level of fear or that great motivation nila. So, beyond na magpapapayat, I noticed that people who are trying to lose weight lang, babalik, if you notice, ang bilis bumalik ng timbang. Pero the ones that are trying to beat diabetes because they want to say they want to say they don't want to get they want to be highly functional, or they want to live longer, or they have something to live for. Yun talaga yung yun talaga makikita mo na sumusunod talaga.
Okay. So I remember just a few days ago, we interviewed Michael Deakin of 16911 Lifeline, and he shared the shocking revelation that contrary to popular opinion, people don't usually die or collapse during the Christmas party. More of them die or collapse when they are repenting for their overeating, binge drinking, while going to the gym after January 1. So nasa huli ang pagsisisi. Anyway, I'll give each of you a quick chance to greet our viewers and pasasalamat din sa natin. Doc Dex.
Sige sir. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa agenda, Sir Cito, at sa team natin, kina Gab, kina Jen, at sa iba pang mga kasamahan natin dito sa One News. Parating tandaan na ang buhay ay parang gulong, so kailangan nating mag-roll with resistance. So, and of course, kinakailangan kumain ng tama para buhay humaba, gumalaw-galaw para hindi agad pumanaw.
Harvie?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody. Kuya Cito, salamat always sa support mo. And really appreciative of the platform you've given us to be able to speak to people about our advocacy and how we want to help people as well. No, my one tip advice lang, life is really too short, no, not to be healthy and happy. We have these beautiful events like Christmas to celebrate family time. Let's value it, but it's not to a point where you don't get to enjoy the next Christmas. So
okay.
For me, the idea would be to work hard throughout the year and then enjoy these moments, value these moments greatly kasi they're too few and far between.
Okay.
So, yun lang.
Thank you very much, Harvie de Baron, Dr. Dex Macalintal. It was nice sharing the platform with you, and I do hope that your advocacies continue to gain ground and become very common topics of conversation, and as well as lifestyle. Thank you for your support. God bless you. Merry Christmas to you, gentlemen.
Thank you po. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas,
Okay.
Dex, also.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. That's it for our guests. And now let's go to our week's blessing. And Gab, if you would, it is from the book of Psalms 91, 9-10. If you say, "The Lord is my refuge," and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. That's our blessing for all of you this week, and we do hope that all goes well with you today. Please wear your mask outdoor. Please be safe, and please pray for Team Agenda as we wrap up our final week. Our run will only be on until December 29, 2023, and then it's goodbye. Thank you. God bless all of you.